wanted to see if there was a last word you want to give about what we take away from this conversation that you think is particularly important for the future. This is a future-oriented discussion after all. What about the future of these issues as you see it that we should be thinking about and committed to as we go forward?
Well, thank you, and it's been an honor to be here with everybody. I think in listening to the last question and the answers, kind of a way to sum this up, I think that, well, as I mentioned earlier, there is the business of using either identity or religion as a way to have your own grouping within a society which may be overly homogeneous or diverse in a way where others are not respected. And I think that what I'm particularly troubled by is how revenge plays a role in all of this. And partially, I came to my understanding a little bit more about Islam during the war in the Balkans. And a great deal of that had to do with the fact that these had been Yugoslavia had been a multi-ethnic place. But then as the splits began to happen, there were originally, the Orthodox were bombing the Catholic churches and the mosques were being surrounded. And for me, in Kosovo specifically, there was the issue of the Muslim community. And as we flew over places and saw, in fact, that the mosques had been either bombed or surrounded with barbed wire and nobody allowed to get there. When I went back to Kosovo about 4 years ago, I was driving in from the airport from Pristina, and what happened was that the Orthodox churches were now being surrounded. And so I thought, we didn't do all this in order to have there be the revenge now against the others. And so part of it was really spending time with a lot of members of the civil society and the religious groups saying that you can't have revenge now against the Christians because, in fact, that underdoes the concept of respect. Now, I don't like the word tolerance because that just means tolerate, to put up with. So what has to happen, I think, is some sense of understanding that your own identity is not dependent on hating the other people and having revenge. The hard part for me to say at this point is, as somebody who has studied an awful lot of history, is we have to forget some history and look at the way people are now and how you deal in societies that are multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multi-everything, in terms of seeing that that is how societies are going to function in the 21st century. That it can't be that there are racially or ethnically pure groups or completely homogeneous countries. And so I would hope that what we take away from this is respect for other religions, for other groups, for other aspects of highly integrated in a variety of ways of societies where we find the richness from everybody working together. So.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'm sure that I speak for many in this audience, if not everyone, to say I think we've been very, very fortunate. Even though it was brief, I didn't get to all your good questions, and there were some great ones in here, but to the extent we could, I think we covered a lot of ground, but I think we're very privileged to hear from someone who has the wisdom and experience and does carry the history of this issue in her life and carries it forward in Madeleine Albright. I deeply, deeply appreciate your being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.